Humanity's withdrawal did not begin with noise, alarms, or warnings. It began with silence, deep, cold silence that moved across the galaxy like a slow shadow. At first, no one noticed. Humans were always unpredictable. They loved disappearing into strange missions and returning with new technology no one understood. So when their ambassadors stopped attending small meetings, it felt normal. But then something shifted. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council opened one morning with an emptiness that made every species uneasy. The chairs reserved for the human delegates were glowing blue, untouched, and strangely clean, as if no one had sat there for months. Ambassador RHY of the Vorthi Empire entered the chamber and felt a strange chill travel down his spine. He had argued with humans many times. He had feared their quick decisions and their dangerous courage. Yet today, he felt something he never expected. He missed their presence. He looked around and noticed other ambassadors whispering nervously. Humans had not sent any messages for 3 days. Their starship routes were shutting down. Their outposts were closing without explanation. Their wormhole gates had gone dark. Even their normal chatter on the intergalactic networks had disappeared. It was as if a whole species had taken a deep breath and held it. RHY slowly walked to the center of the room. "Has anyone received a message from them?" he asked. Nobody replied. A representative from the Kira Syndicate finally spoke. "They closed all communication lines. Every signal is blocked. Even emergency channels." A heavy silence followed. The galaxy had learned long ago that humans were strange but loyal. They fought for species they never met. They protected stations they did not build. They brought peace where old rivalries lived for centuries. But they also had a temper that could shake stars. RHY wondered what happened. Why would humans suddenly step away from everything? Later that day, he returned to his private chamber and searched through past messages and meeting logs. He found dozens of warnings from the human ambassadors. For years, humans had been telling the Council to prepare for a coming danger, something they called the Outer Rift threat. But no one had listened. Many species thought humans were exaggerating, as always. Humans were dramatic. Humans were emotional. Humans always prepared for the worst. But now, as RHY can reread those messages, a cold understanding began to form. Humans never withdraw without a reason. The next morning, things got worse. Human trade ships vanished from major routes. Entire mining colonies shut down. Every diplomatic station with a human flag was locked, powered down, and emptied. It looked like a silent evacuation. Not rushed. Not panicked. Carefully planned. The galaxy woke up confused. Markets crashed. Crime increased. Old enemies started moving troops again. Pirates appeared in regions that humans once patrolled. For the first time in 50 years, the galaxy felt unsafe. Ambassador RHY attended another emergency meeting. The chamber was full, but the empty human seats still pulled everyone's attention. The council leader, an ancient being with glowing silver eyes, raised his voice. "We must understand why humanity withdrew," he said. "They are not impulsive. They must know something." But before anyone could respond, the chamber lights flickered. A low hum filled the air. A message appeared on the central screen, a message from the humans. 2 words. Simple. Cold. Final. Good luck. No explanation. No warning. No help. The chamber erupted in panic. Some species accused humans of abandoning them. Others believed humans were preparing for war. A few whispered something that made RHY's blood run cold. What if they saw something coming, and left us to face it alone? RHY kept staring at the message. It did not feel like a threat. It felt like a test, like humanity had stepped back not out of cruelty, but out of disappointment. They had guided the galaxy for decades. They had offered protection. They had shared technology. But the Council had ignored many of their warnings. Maybe humans withdrew to show the galaxy how fragile it truly was. Rumors spread fast. Some said humans were preparing a powerful new weapon. Others claimed they were going into hiding. A few believed they were planning a massive strike against an unknown enemy. That night, RHYCAN looked out of his office window at the stars. Human ships once moved through that sky every hour. Now it was empty. He felt something he had never felt before, fear without a name. He remembered a meeting he once had with a human captain named Elena Ward. She had told him something strange. When humans go quiet, it means something is coming. Something big. Something we cannot ignore. At the time, RHYCAN laughed. Now those words felt like a warning the entire galaxy had failed to hear. By the end of the week, half the Council regions were struggling. Trade routes collapsed. Borders began to shift. Every species felt the weight of humanity's absence. Humanity did not leave with anger. They left with silence. And silence was far more terrifying. RHYCAN finally understood one thing. The galaxy had taken humans for granted. And now they were gone. The real chaos was only beginning. The days after humanity's silent retreat felt heavy across every star system. At first, some species celebrated. They believed humans had become too powerful, too influential, too loud. But those celebrations ended quickly when reality arrived like a cold blade. Without humans, the galaxy had no balance. Human patrol fleets once kept major space routes safe. Now pirates attacked without fear. Human negotiators once cooled down border conflicts. Now old rivalries flared again like burning suns. Human engineers once repaired countless systems across dozens of planets. Now everything began to break faster than it could be fixed. The galaxy had always thought humans brought chaos. Now they learned humans also brought structure. Ambassador RHYCAN walked through the Council corridors and felt the tension in the air. Guards were doubled. Lights flickered. Voices whispered nervously. Every species blamed another species for the unstable situation. Meetings ended in shouting. Alliances broke apart overnight. RHYCAN realized something important. The humans had not created unity. They had enforced it. They always stood between conflict and disaster, turning anger into negotiation and fear into action. Without them, the galaxy showed its true face, fragile, divided, and afraid. One morning, RHYCAN received a secure message. When he opened it, a single symbol appeared, a burning red eye. His heart dropped. The Krell Dominion had returned. The Krell were not simple enemies. They were destroyers. The last time they appeared, they wiped out entire planets without hesitation. They feared only one thing, human retaliation. And now humans were gone. RHYCAN rushed to the Council chamber. The moment he entered, he felt the panic. Screens were flashing. Data streams showed massive fleets moving at the edges of Council space. The Krell had sent a message to every system. Submit, or fall as the weak always fall. The chamber exploded with fear. Representatives shouted, demanded answers, and argued about what to do. The Council leader tried to calm them, but nothing worked. Everyone knew the truth they did not want to say. Without humanity, they could not stop the Krell. RHYCAN stood quietly, his mind racing. He remembered how humans faced the Krell in the past. He remembered the bravery, the fearlessness, and the unimaginable strategies humans used. Humans fought like they were defending the entire galaxy, not just their own worlds. Now, no species could match that strength. The Council finally voted to reach out to Earth again. Dozens of signals were sent. All were ignored. Not a single human voice answered. Not even an automated reply. It was like Earth had locked itself behind a wall no one could see. HFY felt frustration growing inside him. Why were humans silent when the galaxy needed them most? Had the Council angered them too much? Did humans decide the galaxy was unworthy of their help? Before he could think further, an alarm blared across the chamber. Krell's ships had entered Council territory. Thousands of red triangles appeared on the holographic map, each one a Krell warship. They were closing in fast, targeting weak systems first. The galaxy's defenses were spread too thin. Border planets sent desperate calls for help. But there was no help to give. Every species looked at the empty human seats again, and fear tightened their hearts. Humans had always been the wall between peace and destruction. Now that wall was gone. HFY clenched his fists. He could not accept defeat. He decided to send one personal message, one final plea, to a human contact he once trusted, Captain Elena Ward. He recorded a short message. Captain Ward, if you can hear me, we need you. We all need you. The Krell have returned. Without humanity, we cannot survive. He sent the message into the dark silence of space. He did not expect an answer. Meanwhile, Krell fleets advanced without slowing. They destroyed the first defense outpost within minutes. The second fell an hour later. The third surrendered before a single shot was fired. Fear spread through the galaxy like fire. Representatives in the council chamber shouted again, but now the fear felt different, hopeless, heavy, final. HFY stared at the growing red symbols on the map and realized the truth. The Krell waited for this moment. They watched humanity leave. They saw weakness. They seized their chance. And the galaxy was powerless. Suddenly, the lights in the chamber flickered. Every screen froze. Every system went silent. A deep hum rolled across the room, vibrating through the walls. HFY held his breath. Then, on the largest screen, a symbol appeared, white, glowing, rising like a burning star. The symbol of Earth Command. Gasps filled the chamber. No one moved. No one blinked. A short message flashed onto the screen. Transmission received. HFY's heart pounded. Humanity had heard them. But the message did not say, "We will help." It did not say, "We are coming." It did not promise anything. It simply said, "Transmission received." And then the screen went dark. Was that a warning? A promise? A threat? Or something else? The galaxy held its breath. And the Krell kept advancing. The Krell fleets moved closer with every passing hour. Entire star systems sent desperate calls for help. Border worlds prepared to evacuate, but most knew it was already too late. The galaxy was collapsing faster than anyone had imagined. In the council chamber, fear filled every corner. The holographic map showed red Krell symbols spreading like poison. Each flashing dot marked another destroyed outpost, another lost station, another silent planet. Ambassador HFY stood still, staring at the dark screen where the human symbol had appeared only once. Transmission received. No promise. No help. Just a confirmation. Some council members believed it meant nothing. Others feared it meant humans were watching but choosing not to intervene. For the first time, the council leader looked truly old. "We must prepare for the end," he whispered. But HFY could not accept that. He remembered Elena Ward's last words to him years ago. "Humans may be late. But we never turn our back when it matters." He prayed those words were still true. Hours later, the Krell reached the capital system. The sky turned red with their warships. Alarms screamed across the planet. People ran into shelters. Defense cannons charged, but everyone knew they were useless. The Krell commander broadcasted a message across every screen. "Your protectors have abandoned you. Surrender and we may let some of you live." His cold voice echoed through the chamber. Some ambassadors cried. Others stared blankly at the floor. A few screamed in anger. But no one had a plan. Then, something strange happened. All communication signals went silent. Krell jammers powered down. Every warship froze in place. The stars outside the giant windows dimmed. A deep vibration rolled through the atmosphere, like the sky itself was holding its breath. HFY whispered, This is not Krell technology. The council screens flashed white. A single sentence appeared in plain English. Step away from the windows. Every ambassador looked at each other. Then the entire sky exploded with light. A massive shadow emerged from hyperspace, so huge it blocked entire constellations. Its hull was black, reflective, and shaped like a silent predator. No markings. No signals. No broadcasts. Just a presence that made every species feel small. The human dreadnought Obsidian Crown had arrived. Moments later, dozens more followed, Earth's legendary Black Fleet. These ships were myths, whispered in fear by enemies and in awe by allies. No one knew they still existed. The council chamber shook as the ship spread across the system in a perfect, silent formation. Their energy signatures were unlike anything the galaxy had seen, stable, powerful, ancient, and terrifying. Krell ships immediately opened fire. It did not matter. Human shields absorbed every blast without effort. Human cannons did not fire back, not at first. A calm human voice suddenly filled every speaker. This is Earth Command. Council forces, stand down. You are under human protection. Ambassadors fell silent. Some even cried with relief. The voice continued, gentle but cold. We asked you to prepare. You ignored every warning. Now you see why we stepped back. The Krell commander tried to speak, but his transmission was overwritten instantly. Humanity had taken control. Without waiting, the Black Fleet unleashed its weapons. Not lasers. Not missiles. Something else, something the galaxy did not have words for. Columns of blue-white energy cut through Krell ships like paper. Entire fleets vanished in seconds. Battleships the size of cities were turned to ash without ever firing a second shot. It was not a battle. It was a demonstration. HFY watched in shock. He had always known humans were powerful, but this was something beyond power. It was mastery. Within minutes, the Krell armada was gone. Not defeated. Erased. Silence returned to space. The kind that demands respect. A final message appeared on the council screens. This time, a human admiral stood in front of a dark command room. His uniform was black with silver markings. His eyes looked tired but sharp. We did not abandon you, he said. We stepped back so you could understand what your unity is truly worth. He paused, letting the council feel the weight of his words. You ignored our warnings. You refused to prepare. You spoke of peace but forgot its price. HFY stepped forward. Why now? Why come back? The admiral gave a small, sad smile. Because we never let the galaxy fall, not even when it forgets us. His voice grew firm. But remember this. Humanity is not your shield. We are your partner. If you do not stand together, even we cannot save you forever. The screen faded. The Black Fleet remained in orbit for 1 hour, silent, unmoving, watching. Then, just as quietly as humanity had left, they vanished back into hyperspace. Gone. Like a storm passing after saving the world. HFY walked out of the council chamber and looked at the sky. The stars were calm again. For the first time in weeks, he felt hope. He realized something powerful. Humanity's silence was not abandonment. It was a lesson. A warning. And a promise. The galaxy would never forget this day. And humanity. The quiet, unpredictable, unstoppable force. Had reminded everyone why their myths were feared across the stars.